why would you draw the line at 10? What's wrong with 9 or 11? And the problem is, once you draw that limit, it's kind of like marriage. When you say it's not a man and a woman anymore, then why not have 3 men and 1 woman, or 4 women and 1 man, and or why not, somebody has a love for an animal.
So if you can't have 30 rounds in your rifle, you might end up having sex with a donkey. What is he talking about?
Well, and again, I don't know, Martin, how he quite equated those two. But let me make a point.
Well, sorry, Mr. Walsh, just to mention, though, that Mr. Gohmert is not alone in making this absurd analogy between gun control and somehow ending up with bestiality.
Okay, and I won't go there because I won't make that analogy.
So you don't agree with what Mr. Gohmert says?
No, I don't agree, and I've never heard before what Mr. Gohmert said, so I don't even want to comment on it. But I will say this rush toward gun control legislation, just like this rush toward redefining marriage, though eventually maybe the country will move in these directions, I think a lot of Republicans are simply saying, stop and let's think about this.
Okay,
Is marriage simply about love, Martin, or what about the children?
Okay,
what about the kids?
Indeed.
We don't even talk about that.
Well, we do, and it's interesting you use the word rush in relation to gun control, because I cannot recall anything that the federal government has yet done in this rush towards reforming gun safety legislation. But anyway, we mentioned Congressman Don Young earlier, and his remark calling Latino workers wetbacks. Now, he apologized after something of an outcry, including criticism from Speaker John Boehner, among others. But you tweeted in response, and I'm quoting, "The mainstream media has made it so hard to be real and speak from the heart that it's impossible to be human. Political correctness is killing this country." So the freedom to speak racial epithets from the heart, is that what we need in this country?
No, you know what we need, Martin? We need Republicans and Democrats who aren't afraid to speak. And when they make a mistake, like Congressman Don Young did, apologized right away.
He didn't apologize right away, sir. He didn't apologize right away. In fact, he offered something of an early corrective, and only when he was stampeded by Speaker John Boehner did he actually apologize. So let's just get the facts in relation to that.
No, believe me, it had nothing to do with being stampeded by John Boehner. When he realized what he'd said, he apologized, but he apologized. And Martin, here's what your profession is leading us toward. You are going to get Republicans and Democrats who are afraid to speak on anything except what their political consultant tells them to say, because they're so afraid to make a mistake. We all make mistakes. What we want is our politicians, when they do step in it on occasion, to apologize.
Mr. Walsh, Walsh, though, do you really think that his use of the term wetback was a mistake? Because in the way he delivered that, in its context, it appeared to be something that he would say naturally and is very much consistent with the way he thinks. There was no suggestion of
Oh, gosh, no, Martin, that's not. Martin, that's not fair at all. And no, that's not fair. And there you go again, creating a narrative. He's a man in his late 70s. This was a term that was used when he was growing up, and he referred to it, and he apologized. He made a mistake. But we don't even let our politicians do that, and then right away you're on there creating some narrative out of this one incident. That doesn't lead to a really interesting, open discussion.
Mr. Walsh, we always have interesting and open discussions with you. We're grateful that you've joined us. Congratulations on your new job, and I hope that you'll join us again in the very near future.
I love being with you, Martin. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh.